I start helping them from my heart.
Your focus is on the children, and that's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Sacred Conversation, and I am Daniela Haskara. Today I have an interview with Prakash Dangol, and he is caring for an organization helping children's education. Good to meet you. Nice to meet you, Prakash.
Yeah, same to you, and blessings, greetings to you from Nepal.
Thank you. I don't know how you found me.
Yeah.
I was getting a nice little message from you on Facebook. I have no idea how you found me. And nice to meet you, and I'm very curious to find out about you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, what you do. So first of all, thank you for your nice comments earlier.
Yes, you're most welcome.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about you, and what do you do, and where do you live, and what matters to you in your life, whatever you want to
yes.
share.
First of all, I live in Sankhu, Kadmandu, Nepal. I am from middle-class families. I like to do social worker, and I get the training for the social worker. And I have an experience working with children and community families through different organizations and NGOs and INGOs. When we get the earthquake in 2015 in Nepal, I thought I have to help them who are being unable to go back to school and who lost their families and children, etc. And after the earthquake, I left my old job and I started NGO called the Care for Nepal, and I start helping them from my heart. So since the beginning, we start with 8 children to support them for the school education, and so far we have 65 children we are supporting for their better education, and there's 60 families we are supporting for the economic growth, 5 different projects like vegetable farming, goat farming, poultry farming, etc.
You said something that you formed an organization after the earthquake. When was that earthquake again?
The earthquake started in 2015 April. Because of the earthquake, more than 9,000 people died in Nepal. Where I working in Sankhu, that's almost 1,000 people were died in Sankhu because of because of this earthquake, and many children are not go back to school to continue their study, and the families lost their homes and their jobs as well. Most people sleep in the ground because they lost their home and etc. Right. So looking this situation, I was very shocked, and I start to support them. But I need to have some organizations to start to help them. Right. Then I registered the Care for Nepal, and so far I'm supporting them from our organizations Care for Nepal.
How big of an earthquake was that? Do you remember that? How big was it?
Yeah, it was a 7.9 Richter scale.
The roads and some of the access to the villages was literally cut off, correct?
Yes. Most of the buildings were damaged in our community. It's called Sankhu. And even if you want to like to see the videos and the photos, I can send you if you want.
Were you during this earthquake in the same town? Were you there as well in that moment?
Yes.
So it was very dramatic for you. And so since then you just promised yourself you want to help and rebuild everything, and you just experienced the suffering of the people. Yeah. And
yes, exactly.
After the earthquake, you had a lot of, you were in a lot of need to get support by the people financially, support with food, with water, with everything, with blankets, with warmth, because these are higher mountains. It gets really cold, right? So you needed a lot of support, and the help, the financial help or some other help, it was very difficult to bring it into your villages. Is that correct? Yes. And not everything was reaching to your villages.
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Yes, at that moment, all these supports we need, but even I cannot do all the things for them, because what I can do, I will do. Yes. So at the same moment, I start to talk with some of my friends in the USA, and one of my friends suggests me to start helping them. And she sent me some dollars. Then immediately I start to support them, but not for the fooding and rebuilding, because to make a rebuild we needed many more expenses and we need more funds, right? So I just get a few dollars, then I start helping them for the small package of foods and supplying the water and medicine what they need, right? And basically we focus on to start to give the education for the children who lost their home, because unless we start to support for the education, but the children would not get better education for the future, right? Because our aim is to not for to build their homes, not provide their foods, but our focus is to make children for the bright future.
Right.
So you are not being able to go back to school. Yeah.
Excuse me. Your number one focus is to help the education of the children. Your number one focus is on the children, to support them.
Yeah. Because when earthquake happened, many students, I can see that they are not being able to go back to school because of the earthquake. Yeah. So unless what happened, we cannot do it. We cannot do anything about it, because we have to think about the future of their life. So we immediately start to support 8 children from in 2016 for the better education. And so later then after 2 years, we start supporting for the community families as well to make their economic growth. For the economic growth, we support them for the vegetable farming.
For a minute, I lost you, Prakash. I'm so glad you made it back. I assume that in Nepal, the Wi-Fi is not all the time the same.
Yes, yeah.
So don't worry if it happens again. We just meet
again. Okay.
So your focus is on the children, and that's very beautiful. Yeah. That is very beautiful. And it's very important. And I saw that on your website you have listed a few children from your village, and so somebody could just come to your website and help support an individual child to get an education, to help in the financial aids of what it costs for them to have food, have water, have school time, and all these things. So how many teachers do you have? Do you have some teachers in your town? And are you yourself a teacher? Are you teaching yourself?
Actually, I do not teach the children's myself, because all of them go to the different schools, but we paid their school tuition fees, we paid for the textbooks, we paid for their stationery, we paid for the uniforms, we paid for the backpacks, and whatever they need for their education, or whatever they need to pay at the schools, we have to cover that, all the expenses from ourselves. As I told you, I'm a trained social worker. As we support in different school children, like so far we are supporting from the 5 different schools children's.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the different schools, I do visit and talk with the principal about to get the reports of the children, how they are going and how they are doing on their education every month. So once I get the reports from the schools, I do post to report the sponsors and donors who sent their funds, their money to support them.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. That is great help you're doing. Really.
Yeah, yes, but I would like to build one schools to provide them the free education in the future. Maybe hopefully we can have some donors or sponsors to build the schools to provide the free education in our community.
Mm-hmm. So your first goal is to build one school, starting with one school in your area, and then more schools in areas next to the other villages.
Yes, sure. So once we can build in one school in our area, then we can expand that, send the projects in the other villages, other towns. Like if we have one school, then we don't need to pay, and we don't need to raise funds for every child, right? Once we have the school, then we can provide a good education and as well as free education for more and more children. This is the way I am thinking to make our organizations sustainable.
Nice, very nice. Yes.
Yeah. Once the organizations is sustainable, then we don't need to ask every time for the donors, sponsors, for money or for help.
Where do you live in the region? Are you living in Sankhu yourself?
Yeah, most of the time I live in Sankhu because my project area is in Sankhu, and sometimes I live in Kadmandu.
And you have your own family?
Yes, I have one family with one daughter.
One daughter.
My daughter is studying in grade 11.
Very nice. Are you doing a lot of self-educating with your daughter right now?
Yeah.
Nice. Is she starting to speak a little bit of English? You starting to help her? Yeah.
Yeah, she can start. She can speak English more than me.
Oh, good for you! Good for her.
Yeah.
She's becoming a smart daughter. We like smart daughters.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice, very nice. So in the next video we're making, you introduce us with your family a little bit.
Sure.
That would be very nice. I look forward to that. So thank you for this beautiful idea that we will get to know your village. We will get to know your region, and we will get to know other families and children in your area. I look very much forward to meeting them. What's the name of your daughter?
Sambridi. Sambridi.
Very nice.
Bridi.
Bridi? Very nice. You write it to me so I can learn it, how to pronounce it correctly. Okay. And your wife's name? What's your wife's name?
Santi. Santi.
Santi. Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. So thank you for this offer to taking us on this little tour to getting to know your village. I look very much forward to that.
We can invite some other people in the same meeting. If they have a question, they can ask the question, and we can.
That's a good idea. Also, I like your way of thinking. You like to explore possibilities that we're making also maybe a live Zoom call. Yes, wonderful. First, we have a few experiences with you, and people can get to know you, and then we provide times where we can have live Zoom calls. Very good idea. And then we can also see who in your village is maybe interested in joining us. And, maybe we can open it up and explore that. That's a beautiful idea. I agree. That's I'm happy to do that with you. Happy to do that.
Thank you very much.
Happy to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, definitely we can. We will arrange for all this in next episode.
Okay, wonderful. So see you again next week. Okay.
Okay.
Blessings to you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.